But first, Descendant just had a major new hotfix. The developers also give an update on the new controversy, as well as some things with the RNG loot tables. Additionally, we have to go over some new optimization improvements that just dropped after the patch, as well as some Descendant farming guides and more. What's up, world? It's Utopia back here with another video. Today we're checking out all things the first Descendant. Okay, so let's just jump right into the patch notes. What's going on with that there? Now, actually, with this patch notes, we do have some opening statements, or more so some director's comments. So this is the big one here. There's been a lot of discussion around the loot tables, around the RNG loot, especially the controversy that happened with Nexon and some few things there. So they went on here to say the dev team acknowledges the community concerns about the monotonous patterns of the named monsters and strives to enhance them. In particular, they noticed the pattern involving breaking spears in a specific order is inappropriate for public matchmaking, and they have decided to remove that immediately. So that won't be in public missions anymore. However, that was more so just in some of the later game bosses and a few of those with the reactors. They weren't always the case. In fact, most of the spheres you could just destroy in any order. However, there were ones that you had to, specifically those have now been removed. They said as new patterns are developed, we will soon update the patterns of existing named monsters one by one. And as named monsters frequently appear in hard difficulty in special operations, they'll continue to work towards diversifying their patterns. Hopefully that means they're going to remove the ball mechanic sometime soon, or just change that up there. Although I'm sure it's a lot more dev work than anything. But yeah, that is quite monotonous right now. I think a lot of people are kind of upset with that and more so want the mob spawn ones, which do seem a little bit more fun overall, as the ball mechanic and the immunity phases just get a little bit tedious. They also additionally said they increased the quality of rare basic materials dropped from encrypted vaults threefold. So encrypted vaults are going to be even better now. And if you didn't know, honestly, you should farm Enzo because of how nice he makes the encrypted vaults. So getting even more from the encrypted vaults, Enzo's going to be even worth more now. And if you do want to farm out Enzo, I have a full guide on my channel. I will link to that down below in the description, as well as you can just look on my channel and find that guide, because he's even worth more to farm now. We have 3 additional director's comments here. They went on here to say the most efficient way to farm rare basic materials is still through encrypted vaults, but they did say there are those who prefer hunting monsters, so they have updated field missions and infiltration operations to drop those materials too. And the dev team will closely monitor the overall farming status and do their best to create a joyful environment for all Descendants. They also reduced the time from 2 90 seconds to 2 60-second occupations for the Kingston Vulgus data transfer hacking mission, and they improved the Battle Pass Battle Supply Shop button visibility by redesigning it in the format of the bonus shop banner. Some additional Battle Shop stuff here, where they also went on to say you can get a limited skin for free from the Battle Supply Shop. All you have to do is complete some preseason challenges to claim your special skins. I did go over those already. There's like a little secret button on the bottom right. You gotta click into that button, and then you can head over to that Battle Pass section. It is fairly hidden, but there are a bunch of free skins inside there. They also updated the library window from closing when the map is opened and closed through the acquisition pop-up menu. They improved the duration of party invite messages to make them easier to confirm and accept, and they also improved the duration of Descendant instructions line. Another thing with Descendants here is that they improved the commenting and instructors dialogue to make many useful in-game tips. Currently it is not possible to revisit previous dialogues, but they're planning to fix that, and they'll continue to make improvements so that they can be easily accessible from that there. And they also moved the guide NPC you first meet arriving Albion closer. Moving on to the actual patch notes, we have a ton of optimization improvements. Now they also have an updated section here for the optimization improvements that was just dropped a few minutes ago. But overall, they improved the stability with shader caching and tried to reduce the CPU load. However, they're still monitoring the Intel situation. It looks like if you have an Intel CPU, you are running some issues there. They lowered the GPU memory usage. They fixed a few bugs and issues with character skins, as well as frame rate limits that when using AMD or NVIDIA's frame generation. They also said they're going to monitor some issues there with that. But that is the updated section there. There's also some UI and UX bug fixes for unused items in libraries. They obviously did that issue fixing where the Descendants could not get out of down state when they went to below 100% with module settings. They had a fix where Kyle would occasionally go up in the air when using superconductivity thrusters during repulsion dash. And they also fixed an issue where SMO could not get back up while using Arch Explosion and being inflicted with knockback. Modules had an issue fixed where the increase in firearm attack per stack in the Sharp Precision Shot module was summed instead of multiplied, so that might be even better now. The Sharp Precision Shot module might help a lot. They fixed an issue where the equipment weapon attribute damage did not apply over 100,000, so it seems like weapons weapons are getting some major buffs there. After you hit over 100,000 DPS, you were not getting that damage multiplier with the attribute bonus. And they fixed an issue where high values were displayed as an ultimate gold option despite the reactor's skill cooldown and skill cost stats being preferable with lower value. And they fixed an issue where lower values were also displayed as the ultimate gold option despite the weapon change speed stat being preferable with higher value. So those have now been flip-flopped. Under the field section, they had some amorphous materials, 118, and shape stabilizer form 8. They were not dropping at the frozen valley in the hard mode, so if you were trying to farm that pattern or even the stabilizer, those weren't actually dropping. They also fixed an issue where the elite Vulgus in White Knight Gulch upper hatchery battlefield mission did not drop rewards, and an issue where monster spawning was interrupted at some Vulgus strategic outposts. For instance, dungeons, it looked like Vespers was actually dropping materials from Echo Swamps, Agna Desert, White Knight Gulch, Hagios, and Fortress infiltration operations. So it does seem like you were able to get the Vesper materials from all these locations, and that shouldn't have been the case. They also fixed an issue where in the research, your core materials of Ultimate Descendants were incorrectly displayed as rare instead of Ultimate tier. French got some language fixes here and some different stuff with that. They had one additional director's comment here where they wanted to say it has come to our attention that the community is worried about possible nerfs to the Tamer and Glaze Infinite magazine builds. This meta is very strong, but since it is within our scope of the dev team has planned, there are no immediate plans to do so. In addition, some weapons are more powerful than Tamer, and there are a variety of character builds that rival Glaze Infinite magazine. They said they've been looking forward to seeing Descendants use creative builds to take down powerful Colossi swiftly, so we're quite delighted to see this in action now. Although I will say I don't know what's going to be more powerful than Glaze build. I did see the late pick build that took down a Colossus in 5 seconds. However, more so, I don't think any other champion or any other Descendant is going to rival this. Especially the ones like AoE farmers, Bunny, or even Volby, I doubt are going to do any type of boss damage like this. So I'm not sure where they're getting at like that. Maybe some of the other Descendants can do something. But yeah, overall I think Glay probably needs a nerf as some of the stuff from beta kind of carried over to now. She seems just a little bit too powerful for that, and overall just everybody's going to have her mandatorily, which I don't think is good for the game, and I think either they need to bring other Descendants up to her level or they need to nerf her. They're also well aware that many Descendants begin farming in the earnest varied discussions are taking place regarding drop rates. They said here that there is no variable drop system in the first Descendant. They are using fixed rates displayed in the game. The dev team has reviewed acquisition rates across all servers and confirmed that they are dropping according to the rates displayed, and they are currently working on various measures to ensure the community can trust the dev team, such as disclosing item drop amounts for each content. They're also prepared ways to improve the farming experience, and they do promise to communicate transparently and honestly. So they did address the RNG drop rates there. There is none in the first Descendant, and they said that they tested all this stuff. There isn't any bugs there. So to those people that have had those really bad drop rates, they're just the unlucky few. But hopefully when they do add some of this current measure stuff, when they add the disclosure of how many drop amounts are per content, that should definitely help out there. I also wanted to link this guide down below, Descendants and where to get them. Again, I have several guides on my YouTube channel like Glay, Enzo, Volby, Jaber, as well as a few others, and I'm going to be working on new ones too in the coming days and weeks. But there is this little mini guide here over on Reddit if you wanted to have that as well. That should kind of give you a little sub start there if you were looking into any of these that I haven't covered so far. Overall, that's what I covered for today's video. If you like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuce.